What up, crew? Welcome back to CineChamber. Today we're going to be talking about the new Matt Damon and Ben Affleck movie, The Rip. Like I said, this came out on Netflix. A lot of people out there say this is like for the dads. Now, I can tell you, I'm not a dad. Can you tell by my pink cat hat? I love cats. I'm a cat dad, so maybe this movie is made for me. Well, this is a straight-to-Netflix movie, which in the past, many straight-to-Netflix movies haven't really been the best, but they've been coming out with some better stuff lately, like K-Pop Demon Hunters, for example, was phenomenal. So this is The Rip. Matt Damon plays Lieutenant Dane Dunmers. Ben Affleck plays Detective Sergeant J.D. Byrne, I think is how you say his name. Several other characters that are pretty important. Probably not gonna, maybe I'll mention them some, maybe I won't. There's Detective Mike Rowe, played by Steve Yuan. I know him from The Walking Dead. There's Detective Numa Baptista. She is played by Tiana Taylor, who I know from One Battle After Another. Detective Lolo Salazar, played by somebody named Catalina Sandino Moreno. I do not know her or anything she's in personally. And then some other even more side characters. That the list I just said there, that is the police squad that we follow in this movie. You're going to also see somebody named Desiree Lopez Molina, goes by Desi, played by Sasha Calais. And then DE agent Mateo Matty Nix, played by Kyle Chandler. And then FBI agent Del Byrne, who is the brother to Ben Affleck's character, played by Scott Adkins. Finally, the most important person, well, maybe not the most important person to mention, is Captain Jackie Velez, played by Lena Esco. Basically, the start of this movie, we're following Captain Jackie. She's running. She's scared for her life. She's being hunted and chased down by men in masks with guns. She's trying to text and run. She gets shot at. She gets hurt, wounded. She kind of shoots back, hides behind some cars. Great action scene. She can tell she's not going to make it. She sends one final text out, throws her phone into the river that's nearby her. Boom, gets executed. We're into the movie. We're ripping right off the bat. So her text, we find out, was sent to the new Lieutenant Dane, played by Matt Damon. He is really good friends with Ben Affleck's character, not Lieutenant, but Detective Byrne, JD, he is in love with Jackie. They are lovers. So they get interrogated by Detective Byrne's brother, FBI agent Del Byrne. The whole crew does. And basically, the FBI thinks that the police had something to do with the execution of a police chief. They think it's either somebody from inside their crew, or it's somebody else with power and the resolve to be able to kill a police captain. Getting back to that text, it was sent to Lieutenant Dane. She basically sent out a text saying that she found where a rip is. So a rip is just basically like a cache of drugs or money located somewhere, and the police show up and try to gain access legally into the home, and try to take the cash, seize it, rip it, dare I say. So Lieutenant Dane, he basically proceeds to tell his team after they've been interrogated that, hey, he really needs them to work. He's not going to be able to pay them overtime, but it's just a very important job that they need to do for this rip. He says it's coming from, I don't know, like a citizen tip, basically, that a citizen said, hey, there might be some money here. And, so they all show up to the spot in which he designated that they needed to show up to after work, or it may not be that day, but it's like the next few days, so they can try to seize this money. Lieutenant Dane really has ulterior motives of trying to figure out maybe what happened to the police captain, Jackie, but nobody really knows that. They just think they're there for some amount of money. They knock on the house. The lady named Desi, who lives there, young girl, comes and answers. They basically question her, tell her that they've gotten a tip that there might be drugs in the house, and that they need her to sign a piece of paper saying, there's basically no drugs there. She signs it. That allows them to enter her home, even though they kind of lied to her to get into her home. They have a dog with them. The dog peed on the house. I guess the dog is trained to find money, although most people would think it's trained to find drugs, like Desi probably does. And the dog is able to find and locate a room in the attic where this money might be. They decide to get up there. The room is empty. It's completely clean. It's spotless. They're like, where is this money? Then they see some weird signs at one of the walls, and they decide to start knocking through the wall, and they find barrels and barrels of money. They come to quickly find out that all of this money is closer to like $20 million, and not the more undisclosed $150,000, $75,000, $300,000 that they're not really sure was there to begin with. So then things start getting a little suspenseful, a little more intense. Lieutenant Dane, he starts getting paranoid. Detective Byrne, they all get paranoid. The lieutenant takes everybody's phones because he doesn't want them contacting anybody. They're like, you should call this in. He's questioning calling it in. The lieutenant is, because he's like, this amount of money makes people crazy in general. All people. He's talking about people he's supposed to trust. He's talking about the people that are helping him. He's talking about the cartel that knows how much money is there. Everything is, suspect. So at that point, they decide to move the money into the garage. It's safer. They're supposed to count the money on site to get an accurate count, but they have to do it quickly. It's already bundled in plastic. It already has amounts written on it. So they just go with the amounts that are already written on it in order to count it. If there's loose bills, they got to count it by hand. They set up this little operation in the garage. The lieutenant sends Maddie outside to watch for anybody oncoming. The neighborhood in which they're staying, or they are located, is a very nice neighborhood. It's almost eerily nice because it's desolate. There's nobody around. They don't see anybody. The police don't. Nobody. I mean, literally nobody's around. So as they're counting the money, things are going on. The local police come by. They kind of question some things. The lieutenant comes out, shows them his badge, says, hey, it's a drug bust. We've got things under control. They basically are able to get the local police off their back. So things just continue to escalate. Some of the characters, even though they've turned over their phones, have secret phones that the lieutenant doesn't know about. They're contacting other people. The police that had showed up to question what they're doing at this house are contacting other people. Things start escalating greatly. And then that leads into the final act. The final act has a lot of great twists and turns. It really keeps you on your toes. That's where a majority of the action is. A lot of it is like an intense suspense kind of thriller mystery, trying to figure out, who this money belongs to. How much does Desi know about the situation since she is in this house? lots of other just questions. Of course, majority of those questions get answered throughout the final third act. And it's just action-packed. And dare I say, this movie fucking rips. I loved this movie. Tons of fun. It released my inner dad, I guess you would say. So I got to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I feel like this is a movie that you could have easily forget parts of it. You know, it can leave you rather quickly, but it's a fun ride. You know, it's a journey. It's an experience. It's Matt Damon. It's Ben Affleck. Those two are always really good together. They always have really good chemistry together when they're doing their performances on movies. You know, we had to get the boys back, right? We had to get the Matt Damon, the Ben Affleck boys back together, and they had a fucking rip. That's what this movie's about. Okay. So I appreciate you stopping by this video today. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. It's going to help the channel grow. There's going to be some video doobly-dees that pop up that you can, watch some other videos that I'm doing. I'm reviewing movies. I'm doing top 10s. I'm doing some tier lists of movies. It's basically it's a movie-based channel. It's CineChamber. If you want to like this video, I would really appreciate that. It helps push the video into the algorithm even more. And if you want to leave a comment, let me know. Yo, have you seen this movie? Did you like it? Or are there any other movies that are going to release my inner dad? That's what I really want to know. Are there other awesome action dad movies that I need to see? Please let me know. Thank you so much. And, I hope the rest of your day rips.